Dear students, welcome to Dr. Subhash Technical Campus. For the subject Discrete Mathematics and chapter Relation, we will discuss on what is equivalence relation and we'll see the examples of equivalence relation. Now first let us define equivalence relation. A relation on a set A is called an equivalence relation if it is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So students, we have already learnt in our previous lecture that what is reflexive, what is symmetric and what is transitive relations. Now, two elements A and B are related by an equivalence relation are called equivalent. The notation A equivalent to B is often used to denote A and B are equivalent element with respect to a particular relation. Now let us see one theorem. If R is an equivalence relation defined on a set A, then R inverse is also an equivalence relation. See what we are given here as it is given that R is an equivalence relation. That means it must satisfy three conditions. It must be symmetric, it must be reflexive and it must be transitive. Now, if we assume that R inverse is equivalence relation, so if we are assuming that R inverse is equivalence, then it must also satisfy three conditions. So we will see here whether it is satisfying or not. Now, for all x belongs to A, x6 belongs to R for reflexive. So if I take opposite, then x6 will again belongs to R inverse. Therefore, xx belongs to R inverse for all integers in A. So we can say that R inverse is reflexive. Now next is symmetric. xy belongs to R inverse, which implies what? Yx belongs to R. And if xy belongs to R, you can say yx belongs to R inverse. Ultimately what has happened? Here xy belongs to R inverse and yx also belongs to R inverse. So you can say that R inverse is symmetric. Now let's move towards transitive property. Let xy belongs to R inverse and yz belongs to R inverse. What you have to prove that xz must belongs to R inverse. This is what we have to prove. Okay. Now see, if xy belongs to R inverse, then yx must belong to R, and if yz is in R inverse, then zy will belong to R according to inverse definition. Now if zy is in R and yx is also in R, why we can write this? Because we know that R is an equivalence relation, so it must be satisfying the property of symmetricity. So again I am repeating here xy is in R inverse and yz is in R inverse. So by inverse definition, yx and zy must be in R. Now since R is equivalence relation, it must satisfy the property of symmetry. It must be symmetry. Okay, symmetric relation. So zy must belong to R and yx must be in R. So here R is equivalence relation, so zy is in R and yx is in R, so zx must be in R by the property of transitivity. So if zx is in R, then xz must be in R inverse by property of by definition of inverse. So here you have proved that xy belongs to R inverse, yz belongs to R inverse, then xz is in R inverse. Therefore you can say that R inverse is transitive, hence all the properties of equivalence relation are satisfied. We can say that R inverse is an equivalence relation in the set A. Now let us take one example. Let R be the relation on the set of real numbers such that x ry if and only if x and y are real numbers that differ by less than 1. That means x minus y must be less than 1. Then show that R is not an equivalence relation. We have given this condition that the difference between two real numbers must be less than 1. And we have to show that this relation is not equivalence relation. That means one of the property, either reflexive, either symmetry or transitive, must not be satisfied. Now if we check for reflexive, x are x, then x minus x equal to 0. 0 is obviously less than 1, so R is reflexive. Let me move towards next property, that is symmetric. If x is related to y, then according to given condition you can write mod of x minus y less than 1. Now since here it is mod, so you can also write y minus x, and now y minus x is less than 1. So here you can say that R is symmetric. So now it is obvious that transitive property must not be satisfied. So we will take here one example. Now if I take x equal to 2.8, y equal to 1.8 and z equal to 1.1. Here y is 1.9. Consider this as 1.9. So the difference between these two is less than 1. Okay, it must be less than 1. So if I take mod of x minus y, x equal to 2.8, y equal to 1.9, then this is equal to 0.9, which is less than 1. Now y minus z, 1.9 minus 1.1, that is 0.8, which is less than 1. According to the property of symmetricity, if x is related to y, y is related to z. Here are the two conditions. X is related to y and y is related to z. Now we will see whether x is related to z or not. If I take x equal to 2.8 and z equal to 1.1, so I get 1.7, which is greater than 1. That is not satisfying the property of transitivity. So we can say that R is not an equivalence relation. Let us take one more example. Let m be a positive integer with m greater than 1. Show that the relation R, where R equal to AB, where A is congruent to B mod m, is an equivalence relation for the set of integers. Now here we are given an equivalence relation. We have to show that it is equivalence relation. Okay, congruence relation is given to us and we have to prove that it is an equivalence relation. That is, the congruence relation must be satisfying all the three properties: symmetricity, reflexive and transitivity. Now here we are given A congruent to B. Now if we are saying that A is congruent to B, this is possible only if m divides A minus B. That is, A minus B is divisible by m. That is, you can say that A minus B can be written as K into m. Now let us check for reflexivity. So for reflexivity we have to take same element. So here we are taking A minus A equal to 0. This is obviously divisible by m because 0 can be written as 0 into m. If I multiply any number with m with 0, then you will get our answer as 0. So this implies what? A is congruent to A mod m. Therefore we can say that R is reflexive. Next is, we will check whether it is symmetry or not. If A is congruent to B mod m, then A is divisible by m. Therefore you can write A minus B equal to K into m. If I take here minus common out, then you can write this as B minus A equal to minus K into m. This is also true. This implies what? B is congruent to A mod m. So here A is congruent to B mod m. Also B is congruent to A mod M, then we can say that R is, the given relation R is symmetry. Now let us move towards the third property. If A is congruent to B mod M and B is congruent to C mod M, then we can write M divides both A minus B and B minus C. Now what we have to prove? That we have to prove here that A is congruent to C mod M. If we are proving this, then we can say that it is transitive. Now see, since M divides A minus B, then A minus B can be written as K into M. Similarly, B minus C can be written as L into M. This is L, okay, L into M. Now I will add this two equations. So A minus B plus B minus C equal to L plus K into M. Here BB will get cancelled, so I get A minus C equal to L plus K into M. Obviously you can write this. Okay, this implies what? A is congruent to C mod M. Anyway, this is L plus K, that will be again an integer. Okay, so this can be written as A congruent to C mod M. Therefore, we have proved here that A is congruent to B mod M and B is congruent to C mod M. So, we have proved here A is congruent to C mod M. Therefore, we can say that R is transitive. Now, here R is satisfying all the three properties. So, we can say that R is an equivalence relation. So, students, this was the basic concept of equivalence relation. We have seen what is equivalence relation and we have discussed the examples based on it. Thank you.